Welcome back, everybody. I managed to wrangle Sly in to react to another one of his videos.
Ah!
This time, um, Sly will answer the question, what do borders mean, by telling us everything that's wrong with Ace Combat Zero. Like I was telling
Everything, the whole game.
like I was telling him earlier, even though I've seen all of them, I think I've only seen this one once, and I really don't remember anything about it. So this is gonna be as close to a blind reaction as I get. Um, so unless you have any preface, Sly, we can get this show on the road.
What's with the chapters on the video?
I don't know. Um, did you not put them on?
I didn't put those on.
I sure as fuck didn't put them on. Maybe YouTube put them on.
Interesting. I've been noticing automatic chapters, but I have no idea how it determined those. I might have to actually go into my settings and turn those off.
Now I'll have to check my videos to see if they have chapters. But anywho, um, without further ado, let's get this cringe fest started.
I finally did a silent, decent
I
intro.
was like, did the sound work? Oh, there it goes.
Oh, him? Yeah. I know him. It's going to take a while. It happened years ago.
Wait, hold on. Um, in the send timer, is that supposed to be a semicolon?
Yeah, because that's milliseconds. That's like
Okay, I just now noticed it. So
yeah, that's
pronoun
the
game.
way that it's.
10 years
It's not
ago.
really milliseconds. It's like frames. What is a 30 frame per second video? So, uh, but yeah, it's supposed to be a semicolon.
alright.
We're doing this X years ago thing again.
There was a war that engulfed the
The war
world.
10 years ago.
The Balkan War.
Roll credits.
He was a lone mercenary who inspired both fear and admiration.
Lone mercenary implies that Cypher did not have any wingmen, but as we're about to find out, that's not true. The Axe and Hammer license agreement is taken from the Apache Software Foundation's official license agreement. They just changed a few words and acronyms, including mentions of Apache to either Ace or Zero.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Huh. I never really thought about where Axe and Hammer came from. I think it was just
Oh no,
Uskir.
it's no. It's definitely a fictional thing. I'm just that license text at the bottom. I was like, that has to be from somewhere. They stole that from something.
Oh.
And yeah, they stole it from something.
They didn't steal it. They strategically transferred equipment to an alternate location.
Yeah.
I do have to admit, of all the opening missions for a PS2 game, this is the best.
Oh yeah, this is good.
We interrupt the Balkan War to show you this very long shot of the snowy mountains. 6th, 66th? Getting a little obvious with the devil references, aren't we?
Those are the only ones.
Now? Were we not always Golem 1? Was there a previous Golem 1 that we served under?
I mean, maybe he got shot, or the first one got shot down. We were the replacement. What? Did you say something?
Yeah, it that never gets addressed.
Yeah. I don't think it's really important, but. Alright.
Why would their bombs matter out here? Valais is too far, there's nothing for miles, it's just a mountain range.
I mean, there's our air base. But yeah, there's not.
Well, they said better be careful with those bombs when they hit the ground. Like, the ground in the middle of the mountain range?
It could cause an avalanche, maybe?
Who cares? It's the middle of nowhere out here.
Why would the bomber need to withdraw if its IFF was inoperable? Why would it even need IFF? Can't they use visual guidance to confirm the base instead?
They need IFF, so
Their allies don't shoot at them. I know. I've been corrected multiple times on that one.
and the IFF doesn't even register the ground base.
Well,
But-
that's not that was my point. Like, they don't need IFF to find where the base is because it's on the ground.
Yeah, I think flying without an IFF basically registers you as a target for everybody.
Yeah, so I get it, but
Pixie would be great at CinemaSins.
Pixie is this game's chopper.
Why are they telling Pixie to slow down instead of Cypher? Cypher's the one doing all the work right now.
I'd like to see how those Falcon cowards report back to their superiors.
I don't think they'll be reporting back to their superiors ever again.
Especially if you're a mercenary Cypher, they ain't going anywhere.
Exactly.
We did shoot them down over a mountain range, as I keep trying to remind this game.
Cypher, I have a feeling you and me are gonna get along just fine. Buddy.
That's not weird or creepy at all.
All team, you have permission to land.
Buddy.
Game gives us a landing cutscene instead of a landing minigame.
The Balkan War is shrouded in mystery. But now, a decade after the peace accords, a portion of the records was finally released.
Wait, you're telling me that all official records on the Balkan War were confidentially sealed for 10 years, and only in 2005 they decided to release some of them? It wasn't a secret war. OCO could have certainly released a few documents beforehand.
Wanting more details, I acquired information
That's
from
also one that I
unknown
was like,
sources.
wait, no, that's
Yeah, because
unnecessary.
in real
That happens
life,
all the time. Yeah.
the American government covers up shit all the
All
fucking
the time.
time.
Yeah.
Even if they don't need to.
I know.
So if the American government will do it, why not the Oceans? Especially with some of the shit the Oceans pull in this game.
How do you acquire information from sources you don't even know? Anonymous sources, I understand, but you're a reporter. You shouldn't be using the words unknown sources.
The occupied Ustio government military placed all their hopes on a joint operation between Osea and the foreign mercenary forces. This, of course, can be found in any history book.
But then why did you say the war was shrouded in mystery? That's a lot of details you just threw on us.
There were several accounts about a mercenary, all
Hello,
followed by
Cross.
the code word demon.
Strange Real really has a boner for demon allegories, doesn't it?
I mean, that's a Japanese thing.
Yeah, but also,
There's so many animes that have Christian, either angelic, demonic, or both allegories, and we've all know that Ace Combat is an anime, so it follows. And Cross says, considering the stuff that happened in the Balkan War too, having a lot of things classified for a time makes sense. Yeah,
yeah, I know. That again, that's one that I would take back now. Leave on the cutting room floor.
You and what army? There's no I in Golem Team.
but there's a me.
So is Pixie just going to spout random sayings that have no connection to what's happening in the gameplay?
I'm sure this fight will change the look of this place.
I'll take that as a yes.
At least he can fight.
Wait, hold on. That's supposed to be a house? That's more like what the Iroquois would live in. This is a house. This is very obviously a military storage facility.
It houses the military storage.
Cargo? Rux transport unit? What are these guys up to?
Cargo.
And you're not going to follow up on that. Why does the most important thing that happened to our wingman not get explained in the actual game?
Okay, so I'm going to explain it because I find this hilarious and fucking badass. The
Yeah,
story.
but why isn't it in the game?
I know, right? The story. I'm not sure how it actually happens in Strange Real, but is inspired
Oh
by.
no, my point is the way that it happens in Stranger. Why isn't it brought up here?
No, I know. That's why I'm explaining it now. But it's inspired by a real life event that happened to an Israeli F-15 pilot. They were doing some sort of training exercise, and the chasing A4 Skyraider got a little too close, clipped the right wing, shearing it off at the wing root. But because of all the gaseous vapors that were going on, the F-15 pilot couldn't see that he didn't have a wing anymore. All he knew is that for some reason my plane wants to roll left. So, and there's a giant smoke cloud. I gotta land. So he flies 10 miles to the nearest airbase, does an emergency landing. This is after the A4 pilot bailed out. He lands safely, gets out of the plane, and finds out he's got no right wing anymore. And he would later go on to state that if he had known the wing was gone, he would have bailed out. I don't
Like
know.
any normal pilot would.
Yeah. But the sheer fact that the F-15's body generates lift on its own is a testament to this fucking fighter's badassery. And that is the basis for the story of soloing Pixie. In combat, I'm not sure which war it was, he got a wing blown off and he landed safely. Hence the term soloing Pixie.
Pixie was hired by Ustio 1 year before the war broke out, 94. But before that, in 93, is when apparently it was in battle that he lost his right wing. But same deal. Even though it was like it wasn't a training exercise, it was actual combat. Same thing. He still managed to return to base with full control of the aircraft, with one remaining wing. So,
And only the F-15 can do that. No other plane can do that. Then no history would have been made, so the smoke hindering his view of lack of wing helped him in the end. Yeah. And when the Soviets heard about what that Israeli pilot did, they shat their pants even more because their hyping up of the MiG-25 into like a super plane beast is what caused the Air Force to commission McDonnell Douglas to make the F-15 in the first place. And so they're really like, what horror have we unleashed? So yeah, it's a great story. I love it, and I wish the game went into further detail of it, but they don't. So this is a good sin.
Kinky.
The presence of a
God
magnetic
damn it,
field
Sly.
has been detected, which may interfere with communications.
This gets mentioned, but it never actually
what I wasn't
happens
paying
at any
attention.
point during.
Choker 1, kinky.
oh shit.
That's why I said, God damn it.
gameplay. The only person who brings it up is Schnee1 in his interview. But otherwise, communication in B7R isn't any different from the other missions.
Smoke weed every day.
God damn
Belkin
it, Sly.
Priority 1 Strategic Airspace B7R, aka the Round Table.
Just blaze it.
I don't get where the round table nickname came from. What part of B7R looks round, or like a table? I get the Arthurian reference, but where would the name come from in universe?
Okay, fair
No
enough.
affiliations or ranks to hinder us.
Then why
They
do
fixed
squadron
that
leaders
in
still
Infinity.
command their
They do?
Yeah, because they made Area B7R like they made it close to Area 51. They tried to make it like oh, this is a USAF testing area. Because apparently that's where the Morgan was tested, and Goodfellow apparently had experience there. But it actually, they made it make sense there because there is actually a round table and there is a round mountain and Table Mountain in Nevada, right where Area B7R was placed. So it literally makes sense for it to be round table. It's very smart, but they don't say anything like that here. There's no like they could just say like, oh yeah, there's round mountain and Table Mountain here too, but they don't say that. So, but
Well,
Infinity fixed it.
So my new headcanon is that the Golden King's name was Arthur. And he had a round table.
Well, I mean, yeah, the story has to come from somewhere in here, but
And I mean,
still, where does the name come from here?
Emeria is Strange Real's closest analog to England as well as Italy, so that's how I'm going to headcanon it away.
units in B7R. And the area isn't a free-for-all, everyone's still affiliated to their country. This phrase is completely meaningless in practice.
Penetrate B7R and get a feel for the surroundings. Gong team, penetrate B7R airspace.
I think Eagle Eye just likes saying penetrate.
Let's see what those planes are made of.
Metal, glass, some wiring.
Look out for chaps.
I think you
Okay,
took
that's
that
not
one
fair.
literally.
How come the enemy gets to use
yes.
flares and
Cross,
chaps, but
just
we can't?
Google 420.
You will be given a choice of missions in this joint operation.
Splitting up one mission into 3 was a really annoying concept, especially since you can't choose your ace style in free mission for these splits.
I know,
They
it
couldn't find a
sucks.
way to combine these into one mission, where you had to get a certain number of points. It works for Bastion and Lying in the Seat later on, why not here?
And the last mission is called Operation Cosmo.
I think this was their first attempt to get designated operations.
Second, because Ace Combat 4 did it first, and Ace Combat 4 did it better.
Well, yes, but they weren't designated operations. They were.
Sure they were. We had plenty of dialogue about them, with special bonus objectives as well.
But the ultimate form of the operation system was an A6.
Well,
Yes, you
yes,
got- But I think due to the fact that Zero had a much shorter development time and the PS2's limited hardware or processing capability, I don't think they could. I think they were going for like an A6 style operation where they had choosable operations where you could go with one then the next, like an A6, but the PS2 just didn't have that capability.
Personally, I would have just preferred Ace Combat 4 style. Just have the entire Futuro Canal as... I mean, the entire Futuro Canal is there as one map. So just put a bunch of enemies on one side, put a bunch of enemies on the other side. Well, I guess actually then the Kestrel escort would have to wait until the southern enemies are taken out. But still,
Yeah.
there's... I feel like there could have been a way to do it. I know that the game had like 2 years of development, but still.
I mean, that's probably why they
Still, I
only
felt
have
like
18
sending it.
missions.
And a couple of those missions aren't like, you know, the last 3 missions are really just kind of... It's kind of
Yeah.
just mission 17, and the other 2 are just dogfights, but
And
small dogfights.
and then like I think the first 3 missions are like maybe 5 minutes apiece. Ish. But yeah.
I think the starting of the game is fine.
Yeah. It's just that the first arc of the game where the liberation of Ustio goes by pretty quickly.
Yeah.
This is an escort mission, whose objective is to protect the naval vessels in Osia's Third Fleet, including its state-of-the-art aircraft carrier, which will be making a trial voyage.
Why would you risk the loss of a brand new carrier in a mission as important as this?
No one ever said Osia was
Had to be the Kestrel.
The GOM team is engaged.
Yeah, well, I'm
with
calling it out.
forces. Other planes go join them.
Wasn't everyone supposed to be engaged with Belkan forces? Or are the other allied planes just twiddling their fingers watching the Ustio mercenaries at work?
Yeah, Zero was kind of time crunched, but compared to New Vegas and KOTOR 2, it's definitely a much more complete game.
Oh, definitely.
But I think the thing in Zero's advantage is the scope of Zero was nowhere near as big
No.
as New Vegas and KOTOR 2. Zero is an arcade flight game, whereas New Vegas and KOTOR 2 are full-blown RPGs. So they're entirely different genres there.
Don't get desperate if they're getting pounded, and Belka's no exception.
Have a lot of experience with that, Pixie?
Enemy forces eliminated. Nice work, GOM team. This should make your next operation a whole lot easier.
What does that even mean? We wouldn't even have a next operation if this didn't succeed.
Be aware of civilians
So it's
still
a lot
inside
easier.
Solus Fortis. Your actions will determine their fate.
I understand that we're mercenaries, but wouldn't there still be punishment if Cypher and Pixie actually shot civilians?
Okay, in Strange Real, there's no such thing as the Geneva Conventions because there's no such thing as Geneva.
They claim war crimes. Shut up.
Escort units, this is the 122nd Airborne.
They literally use the phrase war crimes. in
Wait,
7.
didn't the briefing say...
Comprised
Yeah,
primarily
but
of
this
Osia's
is-
101st Airborne Division.
This is like 20-some years
Hush.
Where do you think they got the term war crimes from?
Hush.
It's not a war crime the first time.
First, attack any anti-air troops positioned at our parachute units' drop destinations.
Why were the transport planes entering the airspace and dropping the troops when it was still a hot zone? In Mission 8, they do it properly where GOM team has to clear the area before the transports come in. But here
They
they risk
probably
the
learned
lives
their
of
lesson
every
from this
paratrooper because
mission.
of their impatience.
Anyone showing weakness will be left behind.
What does left behind mean in this context? Are you going to shove them out the door if they don't jump?
Actually, they do that in the military. If you don't jump, they'll
Holy
push.
hell. Pixie's AI is back to Ace Combat 4 levels. He's
No,
really
they said
aggressive
left
and
behind,
capable
though.
in combat.
That's not pushing.
After seeing
Oh.
some horrible friendly AI in Ace Combat 5, I'll give credit where credit's due. Knock off a sin for that.
Powerful weapons have been placed in each ward, comprising the Belkan army.
Yeah, Pixie's AI is a breath of fresh air coming from 5, because, I mean, he actually gets kills. He does what you tell him to.
I promise you that's part of the reason why you can't change Pixie or PJ's aircraft.
Probably.
I'm sure that they did that as like a no, hold on, let's not choose weapons that we don't have AI for.
Yeah. And then with A6, when they had enough time to cook the AI, we get the god that is Shamrock.
Yeah, but then also 6 has like 15 aircraft, so same thing.
Quality over quantity, Sly.
I know.
Ustio branch headquarters.
By powerful weapons, you mean the tanks and AA guns and SAMs we've been destroying for half the mission so far?
I hate that powerful weapon unit so much.
What was the
Powerful.
point?
I never paid attention to the powerful weapons So I
There
didn't
are
even
no
know.
powerful weapons. It doesn't even make sense.
I never even noticed that they said that. I just like, okay, just blow up all the TGTs, liberate the town. You got it.
I have to look into if that's a mistranslation.
It could be. Ace 5 Wingman with Pixie's AI. That would mean that you have Pixie level competence with the capability of them using the Falcon.
Not necessarily. Remember, we can't change the aircraft, so it's entirely possible that they still can't use the laser because we've never seen Pixie or PJ use a laser.
Who cares? It's still one of the most maneuverable aircraft in the game, and if they had, even if they were limited to the Sidewinders, they'd still be a lot better than they would be normally. Because Pixie can use Sidewinders more effectively than War Dog can use special weapons. Now, again, in War Dog's defense, it's the first try with controllable AI, so you can't hit the ground running every time. But still.
The first Ace Combat wasn't exactly a good game.
No, it wasn't. Or shall I go further and say Ace 5 Wingman with Shamrock's AI? That would.
You wouldn't be able to do anything.
Yeah, they could just stick them in a plane that had sparrows. They could fire and forget those suckers.
No, that's what I mean. Because of like how few enemies there tend to be on screen in 5, you wouldn't be able to do anything if you had 3 Shamrocks with you.
Shamrock AI for War Dog is basically, I don't want to actually fight. I'm going pacifist mode.
Of this gameplay mechanic, these special moments only happen about 3 times in the whole game. They don't really impact anything.
It doesn't look like they'll let us head back to base unless we take out those 2 planes.
Backwards firing missiles.
This is Yield 2.
Yeah, that is bullshit. I mean, it has bases
Do
in
Belkin
real life.
pilots accept death unless their commanding
Not on
officer
the
gives them
Terminator.
permission to bail out? That seems
Fair.
upside down.
Calm 1, you are cleared for takeoff.
But technically, the Terminator in real life didn't have any weapons. It was a demonstrator.
Okay,
Yes,
this
but
is really
still.
cool to see so many allies taking off at the same time as you. I don't believe we've had this happen before in the series. I'll take off a Sin.
Check that out.
Okay. This isn't a you question because this isn't your gameplay. But why is the player still using the fucking F5 on Gladysant?
I don't know. I don't remember how the unlocks go.
You at least get something better by the time you get to Gladysant. You get the ability, I think, depending upon your ace style, to get either the Typhoon, the Hornet, or the Griffin by this point. And you should be able to afford one of them, especially if you're a merc. But we even saw him use the F1, which is better for this fucking mission than the fucking F5.
It took a hell of a lot of gunfire to make those holes. Plane wreck. Gladysant must have shot him down here.
That would mean a whole lot more if we could actually see holes or plane wrecks.
I mean, that's just because the PS2's draw processing power isn't that great.
Yeah, but still.
Each sector has 3 different names for some stupid reason. They should have just stuck with the area blank names and marked them like that on both the briefing map and the radar. That would mean a whole lot more if we could actually see some kind of flash at that moment.
Yeah, I've never seen.
Why are
There's
the
no
operations
flash.
labeled Alpha, Beta, and Theta? The 3rd Greek letter is Gamma, not Theta.
That's a good
Nothing
question.
to worry about. We always win our battles.
Famous.
Also,
Bothers
why
me
not
so
just
much.
Alpha Bravo Charlie?
I don't mind like sometimes using the different like the Greek stuff, but like at least do the correct order. I don't know
Make
why
it
they
make
did
sense.
Last words?
Where's the commander? Did you hear the warning? He said he was going to a lake this morning. I haven't seen him since. Why does he disappear when we need him the most? Engage the enemy!
What's weird about Merlon Alpha is that there's this terrible army commander, and he actually has 2 or 3 possibilities as to why he disappeared. I'm not sure what the trigger is. It might be the A style, but it's an odd thing to have so much effort put into.
All personnel get ready for battle. Engage the Allied forces. They're working well as a team. They must have a capable commander.
I love that this game gave us a capable female army lieutenant. More female power in military games is always good to see.
So is she the prototype for Makoni?
No.
Oh. Because that's immediately who came in my mind.
Wow. What other female can I think of?
Well, on the ground, I mean, there's Hujin in the air. There's Nagase. There's your favorite character of all time, Lanner.
Yeah.
But for a ground commander, you got Makoni.
Yeah.
On top of the female characters in prior games, I'll
Cross,
knock
that
off
is
3
the,
cents for equality.
Lieutenant.
How did you even get so far on the west side of the airspace? We came from the south.
All enemy fighters have been eliminated. Threat level reduced to 2.
What does threat level 2 even mean?
I've never understood.
What was that? Something flashed again.
How did Pixie see the laser before it even showed up?
Psychic.
Those 3 transports went to the Looney Tunes School of Cartoon Physics.
Incoming emergency message from Operations HQ.
As long as you don't think about the explosion, it won't happen.
Long-range attacks.
Don't look down.
Within range.
You know, that statement adds no information to what we just saw.
Plane 4 just vanished. Allied planes are disappearing from radar.
With Stonehenge and Sinfaxi, you were given ages to get out of the danger zone. But here, you're barely given a second or 2 to react until the laser appears. It's
I
no
hate
wonder
this
so
part of
many
the
people
mission.
have more trouble with this part of the mission than the entire next mission.
This part of the mission sucks. I hate it.
Name's PJ. I'll support you any way I can, comm team.
Grim,
It's killed
is that
me
you?
so many times.
The tanker's been destroyed.
I've always
Also, I get that sin. Both Grim and PJ are voiced by the same person. I think it's Johnny Young Bosch, right?
hated Eagle Eye's inflection in that statement. He said it like it was a target we had to destroy, not a friendly aircraft. Excalibur doesn't care if there's ground in the way. Excalibur fires wherever Excalibur wants to fire.
It's Belkin Witchcraft Slide.
That felt like the writers got a whole bunch of science-sounding words and made random sentences out of them. Nothing in that line made any scientific sense.
Clearly, you've never watched Star Trek. It's called Techno Battle.
That is a very, that's such a
It's kind of
techno-battle
odd the
Star Trek
railway
line,
artillery
you're right.
didn't actually, pose a threat. Ace Combat Infinity introduced danger areas just like Excalibur's laser for the artillery lasers, which could very easily shoot you down. But here they're just pretty decorations.
Okay, Infinity took place in real life, like, almost a decade after Zero, on a next-generation console that had much better processing power.
Not the point. Why is the railway artillery almost useless in this mission? Answer that for me.
Because they couldn't program it to kill you.
Why not? I don't get it. Because Excalibur has its own unique thing. Why do these four guys just light up the sky in almost direct, straight up 90-degree angles? What's going on with these guys? Actually, to be honest, I do think that they can hit you. It's just I think you have to be at really high altitude, but almost no one goes up at high altitude in this part because why would you? So
Also, it might
I
have an
need to do
Ace
more-
Combat X sort of thing with the mezzanine cannons where they can't track you if you're going fast enough.
I do need to actually test this out a bit more. I need to figure out how these railway artillery works, but it's still like
Because
all
I'm
the
pretty
time that I've
sure if you decided to run into the laser, you would get fucking hurt.
probably I've never ever gotten hurt by them. So in all my years playing Zero, I don't know. But even Infinity, like the way that Infinity did it, because remember that Infinity had that whole blanket, like there was that zigzagging laser net all around Excalibur off of mirrors. Um, Even with that, it had a bunch of railway artillery that worked exactly like Excalibur. It had each railway artillery had each train had two lasers covering a 180-degree in front of them. And it was like a small, very small thing on the radar where, just like Excalibur, if you flew into that danger zone, it would shoot you down. It was really, really intricate, surprisingly intricate. Um, and it's just like even that is like not here. Like I don't know what it is. I need to test some of this out, but like I've never ever gotten hit by this artillery. I don't know.
I only remember doing the base Excalibur raid once, because I think at that point I just couldn't devote enough time to it due to work.
Well, all of them work similarly in that aspect. It was just Excalibur 2 just added more health as usual, and Excalibur 3 added I think it was Excalibur 3 that added the Nosferatus. And then
Oh.
Excalibur 4, of course, with the Butterfly Master.
Lovely.
Oh yeah, there was a squadron of Nosferatus in Excalibur. They would fire ADMMs. And I think EMLs, but I'm not, don't quote me on that, but I do remember ADMMs.
You mean the things that were banned in A6's multiplayer because they were too powerful?
Well, remember that Assault Horizon and therefore Infinity had seriously nerfed the ADMM.
Yeah, for the player.
Also for the enemy. Only the Butterfly Master had pretty powerful ADMMs, but the NPCs in Excalibur did not.
Oh, PJ's from the Strangeville equivalent of Texas.
PJ, don't get too excited and crash, buddy.
I see Eagle Eye has
he said
adopted
like a Yahoo.
Pixie's buddy line made any scientific sense. Artillery didn't actually,
I didn't
pose a
catch
threat. Ace Combat Infinity introduced danger areas just like Excalibur's laser for the artillery lasers, which could very easily shoot you down. But here they're just pretty decorations. Oh, PJ's from the Strangeville
Okay,
equivalent
got it.
of Texas.
PJ, don't get too excited and crash, buddy.
I see Eagle Eye has adopted Pixie's buddy line.
The Allied forces officially announced the permanent abrogation of its non-aggression treaty at the Assembly of Nations.
All of this information is never brought up anywhere else. What non-aggression treaty? What's the Assembly of Nations?
It's like
Which
the League
nation
of
tore up the treaty
Nations.
first? What was the whole
I
point
know,
of
but
this?
it's never explained.
Sorry, can you read me? It's happening just as you thought. It's about time we got out of this dead-end job. Not just yet.
Foreshadowing.
That kind of pilot, we call it Demon Lord.
Who's they? Who calls anyone a demon lord?
Annoying fly
They're
in the
calling
enemy.
you a demon
All right,
lord.
change of plans. We'll deal with the escape craft later. All planes, we don't have time to go game hunting out here.
Then why did you engage Golem Team in the first place? If Schwartz is a Shadow Squadron, they shouldn't be involving themselves in official large-scale battles like this.
Those mercenaries smell of money and death. They're nothing but vultures, scavenging for profit through the blood of others.
Said the pot to the kettle.
I know he's not credited, but isn't Schwartz leader the same guy who does Schroeder and Ghost Eye?
I don't remember.
I'm pretty sure it is. No?
DC Douglas. No.
Okay.
At least we don't have him listed as something on the wiki. I don't know if he
What
actually
was it
did
that
voice him.
Pixie said?
The only rule of engagement was to survive.
Damn the Phantom. I guess looks can be deceiving.
A real ace pilot can use any aircraft to their advantage, but I guess PJ wouldn't know about that.
Well, he's not an ace yet, is he?
My pulse raced at the astounding accomplishments of the mercenary
Oh,
known
there's
as
the red
Demon
6-6.
Lord. I forgot about my job.
What kind of journalist are you?
I was
An
given an
obsessed
opportunity to interview the former aces of the Belkan Air Force. Back then, they would.
Wait a second, these guys weren't part of offensive campaign number 4101? Especially
Yeah, I
not
know
the
it was
guys
DC
during
Douglas
Mayhem, that was
for
long
Ghost
afterward.
Eye and Schroeder.
My pride was shot, and the round table was defiled. What went wrong? Whatever it may be,
Flesher really can't keep his head off a swivel, it just keeps falling and turning. Oh, Pops ran.
I have an explanation for that. He could be autistic because I know I'm autistic and I can't keep my eyes focused on the person I'm talking to. I have to I don't know why it just happens. Or he's suffering from PTSD and doesn't want to look anyone in the eye.
No offense. Even if it is the latter, I really don't think they were thinking that hard into it. And I highly doubt that they ever thought of adding an autistic character into Ace Combat, intentionally, at least.
Fair, but those are just explanations. Whether or not they're true,
I don't know. I just thought it was funny the way that he kept turning his head. Even people who can't like keep their head straight or like look at someone in the eye for too long, I don't know, the way that he was turning his head just kind of looked like the actor at least was exaggerating it. I don't know.
Ran a diner in Sudentor
I
before
just thought it was
joining the
funny.
Ocean Air Force.
I squinted my eyes and confirmed the situation. Checked the terrain, air currents, his plane, his maneuvers, and his remaining ammo. I figured I could do it.
And here is Schmidt demonstrating for us what checking the terrain, air currents, Cypher's plane, Cypher's maneuvers, and Cypher's remaining ammo looked like.
also, how could he know how much ammo Cypher had?
Unpause.
Because it keeps spawning.
Also, how could
Unpause.
Schmidt confirm an enemy's remaining ammunition from a distance, especially after not being there for half the battle? Especially in a series like Ace
Fair
Combat,
enough.
where our planes can hold hundreds of missiles.
Dmitri Heinrich.
Sorry, can you say his last name again?
Heinrich.
He's choking on that last syllable.
An ace whose precision and grace in flying earned him the title of Blue Heron.
And yet the screen is blatantly displaying Indigo Heron, and his squadron is Indigo Team.
Initially, my squadron was assigned to the stable Eastern Front.
This guy even sounds like a pompous
Stable Eastern
asshole. All he
Front.
needs is an apple.
The pilot was still young. He had yet to master the rules of combat.
Again with these rules. Pixie duty honors.
the only rule of engagement was to survive.
For some reason, Altman has framed portraits of the Rosgriz and the Princess from a blue dove for the Princess from Ace Combat 5.
This man was head of the command group.
Easter egg,
He was
maybe?
the head of a shadow squadron, not a command group.
Well, yes, but
Make some space on the truck bed. How are we supposed to do that?
I guess no sin for Schnee or
It's a Rux
Silver.
unit again. They've come a long way since Mission 2. Still no idea what they're supposed to be doing. Whoa, where did the B-2 come from? What's it going to do, bomb the bombers? The order to abandon Hoffnung was only just given. There's no way a B-2 could already be here to burn the ground even further.
Ignore the civilians. Our priority is withdrawing the troops out of the area.
You call yourself soldiers of pride when you abandon your civilians, leave them for dead in a burning city?
All I felt at that point was sadness for the world. That's why
I mean, you say that they can't call themselves soldiers of pride for that, but given what they're about to do to their own country, I think abandoning them to a burning city is not really a big deal.
well, that gets into the morality of, because it's not often talked about, but we were firebombing Tokyo before we even dropped the nukes.
Oh yeah, we did more
So, like-
damage with the fire bombings than we did with the nukes.
And it's arguable that dying in an instant is potentially better than getting tortured, burned alive. So
Fair enough. But
There's no pride in anything that Belka does at this game, and that's part of the point.
and you could also say
There's no
there's
pride
no
in what
pride
Osea
in
does
what
either.
what the Allies do, aside
Yeah,
from
no,
liberating
that,
Eustia.
that's the whole point. Belka did nothing wrong is such a stupid meme because the whole point is that everyone did everything wrong. That's exactly the point of the game. War is bad.
I hate that meme so much. I mean, Thompson even says there are no heroes, there are no villains.
Well, no, he doesn't say that there are no heroes or no villains. What he says is everyone is a hero and a villain, and that's more true.
Yeah, now that I remember, that's what he says.
Especially like the what is it? Sky Eye says history determines the winner. It's like the winner writes the history books. It's absolutely true.
Yep.
You're a hero as long as you're on the winning side. Yeah.
You gonna finish that
Belka
statement?
did nothing wrong is such a surface level.
We were also able to confiscate samples of what seemed to be experimental weapons
this
from the
entire
abandoned
goddamn
war factory.
franchise.
Yeah. Although I will say that Belka is not as bad as the Pacific Federation, but we'll get to that later.
Well,
we'll get to that when we do Project Wingman.
What happened to the order to set fire on everything before they left?
For this mission, we would like you to assist the Allied ground troops by clearing the skies of enemy fighters. The South Belka munitions factory is located in Sudentor, which means the remaining troops...
The briefing officer says clear out enemy fighters, but then the BM-335 is shown at the top right. Spoilers much?
I mean, also,
whoa,
the
hello?
date
We're
is
here
kind
too.
of a spoiler,
Gom
too.
Team, Demon Lord of the
If
Round
you know
Table,
it's
remember
not.
us?
No, it's not. They never said the date.
No, but it's like in small text on the operation briefing. They don't verbally say it, and it's small enough that it's easily overlooked.
No. In Ace Combat 5, they never said what date it was.
Yeah, but I pointed this out in the Everything Wrong with Ace 5 video. When they had the video of the mushroom cloud, it says timestamped June 6th, 1995.
Did I already forget about this?
Yes.
Because I genuinely do not believe you. And if you brought this up, like, I don't remember.
It is timestamped. They don't say the date verbally at all. The only indication of that date is that fucking timestamp. That's it. So, I don't blame you for not picking it up, because it took me subsequent playthroughs
But here's the
and
thing.
somebody else mentioning it for me to realize it.
Here's the thing. Assuming that you've played Ace Combat 5, the stage of Apocalypse is pretty damning on its own.
What? No.
My point was that they make no effort to hide it because they show bombers during the briefing. Like that was my point with it.
It's just like a mission called Consequence of Power. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, it's like with a name like that, you understand something funky is going on.
Or
But
Last Hope.
Well, Last Hope not so much, because nothing really happens in Last Hope.
I mean, you lose your last hope being of ending the war cleanly.
Moving to engage enemy. I'll stop them.
It's not on the same
PJ,
level
did
as
you
the
forget your call
stage of
sign?
Apocalypse.
Prepare to engage enemy. 5 miles remaining.
Why does Eagle Eye give us a distance this time and no other time? You may have Eye in your name, but you're no Sky Eye.
I see them. Enemy fighters with nukes.
Not only are they not fighters, how can you see the nukes if they're even there? Their bomb bays aren't open yet.
Warning. Change course immediately. Return to base or you'll get shot down. The enemy's attacking each other?
I wish we had more moments like this. This was really unique and powerful to see Belkans trying to prevent mass destruction by attacking their fellow pilots. I'll knock off a sin for Zero having unique storytelling.
Yeah, I don't shoot those yellow units.
I kind of wish that if I redid everything wrong with Zero, what I would do is take off that sin, but then re-sin, because that should have been a cutscene. I really don't think that the game put enough attention on the fact that Belkans were trying to stop other Belkans.
Yeah,
Especially with, like, again, if you didn't play 5, then you have no context as to why Pops was running away from Schwartz. So
yeah.
no, that really should have been a cutscene of some kind.
And this is so powerful the first time you play it. This was the first time the Ace Combat HUD was so severely affected by something, and the first real glimpse you're given into the worst atrocity
Except
in
3, I forgot
straight-drill in
3.
Ace Combat history. Knock off another sin.
Can you then add a sin for inspiring Project Wingman to do this for the last fucking half of the game?
Wait, what?
The interface screw?
Yeah, why would I add a sin?
Because this is where Project Wingman gets that fucking idea.
So, I like it.
Oh, I like it too, until you're trying to play like 5 missions with staticky HUD, and you can't do anything about it, at least on the Xbox port.
But why would I send 0 for that?
The original sin.
No, it's because it's fine. It doesn't outlast. It doesn't overstay its welcome here. But the 3 did the HUD screw up first.
This would have also been a really powerful moment if the game didn't screw it up sometimes where Pixie wouldn't even fire on you.
The first time I played this game, Pixie nailed me with a sidewinder and shot me down.
That's incredible.
Because I had taken damage from before.
Yeah.
And so from then on, whenever I play this mission, Pixie gets fucking bombs. And I have him on disperse, go for ground targets. And you're thinking, there's no ground targets. Yeah, that's the point. I don't want him doing shit.
This is where we go our separate ways.
How is Pixie's radio clear of interference?
Maybe their
Because he's a
old
main
militaristic leaders couldn't stand the idea of Allied forces invading their land, and declared to the world that the land to the north was the Holy Land of Belka.
So why didn't they just offer peace talks to the Allied forces instead of immediately going for the nuclear option?
To compensate
Because Belka doesn't know the meaning of peace talks.
That's why I sent it.
for the losses in Golem Team, Crow Team will be joining you.
No, only Crow 3 will be joining. Crow 1 and Crow 2 simply vanished.
A return line is located.
Maybe they
on the
got
west
killed.
Who
at the
designed
nukes.
this mission so that the enemy forces
No,
keep going further
we
east?
see them fly off
Wouldn't
the
it make
radar.
sense to have them
Oh.
spread out closer to the return line so the player isn't bored in long flights back and forth?
This is
Target
also
destroyed.
the same map in 5 where you steal the
Our
nukes.
tests will guarantee that the operation is carried out successfully.
Mount
How is
Shrimp.
your death beneficial
Eh,
to the
sure.
terrorist uprising 6 months from now?
You say that like you don't know.
No, I don't know.
At times like this,
I don't understand that one at all. That is the stupidest one to me. Those are 2 transport aircraft that take off from the base, and if you shoot them down, their line is our deaths will guarantee the success of. Like, what are you talking about? I don't.
Oh, I
understand
wasn't
that at
talking about
all.
that. The question I asked you was, is this the same map that you do in Ace 5 where you seal the nukes in the mountain?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the sin. Wait. You said I say that like I don't know.
Well, because we were talking about 2 different things.
Oh no, 'cause I might have like inflected weird. It's Mount Sherm.
Oh, Sherm. Oh,
'Cause-
so shrimp.
No, Sherm. I before R.
Okay.
The Rux unit again? We still don't know what their whole purpose is. Are they just supposed to be a fun Easter egg?
They're this one trucker
This has
unit
been
that we
brought up
can't
many
kill.
times over the years, but this hangar doesn't look capable of housing XBO. The scale is too small.
Belkin sorcery. I don't know.
I'm not sinning this or anything, but I thought it was hilarious how Blaze 1337 managed to capture this line right after the mission accomplished tone.
All attack targets have been destroyed. Calm team, not bad for a couple of rookies.
Who are you calling a rookie?
As to the intended purpose, for
I'm the
using the
fucking
giant
Demon
hangar
Lord of the
described
Round
in the
Table,
report,
Eagle
rest
Eye.
assured that intelligence is
I ain't
looking
a
into the
fucking
matter.
rookie.
Waiting until the XBO bombs a city 6 months later? Is that how you get your intelligence?
The mission will be called Operation Bloom.
Wait, is he saying broom or bloom?
Operation Bloom.
He's definitely saying bloom. This whole R versus L localization quirk is really rampant in Zero. I get why they're mixed up to Japanese speakers, but still. Galm when it should be Garm, Rux when it should be Lux, and who knows whether it was supposed to be broom or bloom.
Mars team will strike first, followed by Mercury and then Jupiter.
That's not the order of the planets at all.
Belka's military forces will be reduced, and tension with neighboring countries will come to an end. Make them cancel the ceasefire radio announcement.
Even if the radio is shut off, the politicians will still sign the treaty. Jamming the radio won't affect anything.
How is safety in this battle?
This kid has got to learn how to be his own ace, not try to follow in another's footsteps.
He's like Grim, but if Grim
And
wasn't,
it's the Rux
you
guys
know,
again. I swear they're
intelligent.
everywhere. Which squadron was that? Sorry, all you guys look the same on the HUD.
That reminds me of something from the Street Fighter movie where Chun-Li goes up to M. Bison and goes, "You killed my father." And Bison's just like, "Ah yes, the day that Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me it was Tuesday." It's like, you killed my squadron. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Fine, Calm team. Keep it up, Sniper.
Taking sides, are we, Eagle Eye? Whoa, why is there a stray helicopter in the middle of this battle? At 5,000 feet, no less.
The battlefield shifted to the tables, and the politicians from
Apaches
all
will get
countries
that high?
squabbled with each other over the rights to the underground natural resources, the initial cause of this war.
Hang on, why is Wheelvakia represented? They're too far east to have been involved in the war, and no official material indicates their involvement. The Nordlands too? They're even further east than Wheelvakia.
6 months passed without any developments. 6 months of void. I
Oh, the
focused on
surface
this
ceiling is
time
20,000
period
feet. Never mind.
for the hidden truth laid there, and I learned that my pursuit of him was not a mistake.
This never made any sense. The signing ceremony was in June, and the very next thing to happen, besides Espada's desertion in October, was the XBO attack on Christmas Day. There was no truth hiding
Merry
in the 6
Christmas!
months. Literally
Your
nothing
president is
happened in that
bombing
time period
runs.
at all.
Wait! We've just received an emergency transmission from the control tower. Unidentified aircraft are approaching our base. Scramble all planes. Quick, there's no time. Get into the air immediately.
The XBO isn't capable of jamming. Why was the computer going all crazy? Did the briefing officer pick it up and shake it to show Cypher and PJ how serious this was?
I think it was to
Wait, so
show
the
the
XBO
player
is
that they were
capable of jamming?
actually being
Then
bombed.
why doesn't that get reflected in the mission gameplay at all? I'm still sitting this for the inconsistency.
It can even be the Calm team. Send them up.
This was a GOM team mission in the first place. Why do we need special permission now?
And wouldn't we be the first ones in the air because of how good we are?
Why is the cockpit required to be destroyed to shoot it down? It's already lost all of its engines.
Warning, the enemy's locked onto you.
And why can the cockpit fire missiles?
There's a coded message on the radio.
The cockpit isn't firing missiles. It's some guy in the cockpit firing stingers out the windshield.
It's not. There are for some reason SAM installations around the cockpit, but
I
yeah.
know the Agaion has them too, but I find it funnier to think that
Don't-
some people.
Don't fucking remind me.
How is PJ able to decrypt an encoded message that
Remind you of
quickly?
what?
And in mid-flight?
That the Agaion has SAM
Attacks
on.
from land, air, or elsewhere.
Where else could attacks come from?
Your final sortie.
How do you know?
I'll be back.
Yep, he's dead. Epic line, but it makes no sense. The victor is whoever shoots down the other one. Justice doesn't block missiles. Wait, why are we getting a debriefing? Past Ace Combat games, especially 4 and 5, managed to omit the debriefing for some missions. Even this game does it for the next mission. We're still mid-flight, this debriefing shouldn't have been here. By comparison, this is a really nice touch that the mid-flight briefing actually looks much different than the normal briefing screen for this one special occasion. I'll knock off a sin for this one.
Deal
I
with
never paid
this.
attention.
The Allied squadron will.
There's a lot of information here on the bottom right. Gross weight, fuel, center of gravity, and even an exhaust gas temperature gauge. Given the scale of the numbers, this is referring to the KC-10 we're about to refuel with. But the gross weight is listed as 595,500 pounds, whereas the fuel it's carrying is 232,500 pounds. A KC-10 weighs about 240,000 pounds when it's empty, which means there's 123,000 pounds still unaccounted for. A KC-10 can hold 356,000 pounds of fuel, which explains the unaccounted weight, but that means someone screwed up their math for the briefing display.
I have to stop them from launching the V2. Can't let them destroy the world.
So why are
Here I can account for it. Not only did we refuel at the KC-10, we rearmed there too.
aren't you entering the
But we
tunnels
hadn't
at
done
all?
it yet.
Could really use your help right now.
We did it! We stopped the V2 launch! We're gonna be rich!
PJ's victory line on the mercenary run is the worst. It's completely out of character with everything he said up to this point, even the mercenary run.
Yes.
They really couldn't figure out something else for him to say? Something like, we've destroyed them all?
We are. I got a girlfriend back at the base. I'm gonna propose to her when I get back. I even bought flowers.
When you complete what seems like the final mission and then say you're going to propose to your significant other, you're basically marked for death. Look, even Ace Combat Infinity knew this.
Warning, unknown target approaching at high speed. Break! Ah! Dang it!
Why the
Do you
hell
have
did
any
PJ
idea
break
how
left
angry
into
May
sight?
was when they added that nickname?
What, marked for death?
It's so stupid. It's such a call to. It's exactly the trope. They literally made the trope into a nickname in Infinity, and they put it in the Crow Team tournament. It's so funny. I mean, like she was angry in a funny way. It's like it's so stupid. I love that they did that.
The only thing missing was for PJ to say that he was 2 months from retirement.
Yeah.
Also, this is not the first time Yuri Lowenthal impaled
I know.
Johnny
I know.
Bosch.
I know. I should have brought that up.
For those of you who don't know, Code Geass.
Cypher? That risks both of them crashing, regardless of the laser. Also, why didn't Cypher break at all? He just keeps flying straight even after being ordered to break.
His immense brass balls.
We interrupt the World with No Boundaries uprising to show you this very long shot of the snowy mountains. Wait, haven't we done this already?
It's called bookends, Sly.
I know. That's
Didn't the
why I
Avalon
called
staff
it
have
out.
to prepare it for launch? They couldn't finish before Cypher destroyed their control facility, so how can Pixie just launch it if it's not ready?
Belkin.
Oh, that's just not fair, especially with barely any warning. Hang on, where have I seen this missile before?
Reused asset.
This plane is protected by Allied ECM defense system.
Ah, yes, the magic ECM defense system that can deflect missiles and bullets.
I've always wondered why.
That doesn't look healthy for the atmosphere.
You wouldn't want to keep anyone waiting for you.
Who in the world would be waiting for Cypher? What, is he going to steal PJ's girlfriend?
They ring the bells here at dusk to
I
honor
mean,
the
since
liberation
Pixie
of the
can't take
capital.
her.
It signals peace, but to me, they are the sounds of death.
So why are you still living here? PTSD is a real illness. You can simply move somewhere else. I'm sure your wife and kids would understand.
But guys like him, Solo Wing, and me, we live the rest of our lives in hell. But then again, being alive is proof that we were good.
Zubov is such an underrated character. He deserved more.
Marcela Vasquez. The Espada
I
team's
feel sorry.
Norwegian-
Marcela Macarena Vasquez? Did they even try? Why is there a tank in Sapin's capital in October 2005?
When a fighter plane goes down,
Cross is saying sentimentality could also be was keeping Geld 2 in Directus because that's where his captain died.
Still,
Possibly. Maybe he's in Ustio because he can't bring himself to go back to Belka because of what Belka did. And he can't bring himself to go to Osea because of what Osea did. Who knows?
that's the end. It disintegrates into pieces. Incinerated beyond recognition.
Okay, Hillenbrand, thank you for that imagery.
It's pretty lonely up there all by myself. I'd love to fly with him again someday.
What are you implying?
Demon Lord was right.
Snow? Is that you? Why didn't Galt get a face? Even his ID card is blurred out. How does that work? The Osea Federal Prison of Land Ford? English much?
The darkness envelops me in a borderless world. A world with no boundaries.
I think he's gone loco.
He drank the Kool-Aid. You never do that.
I should have died that day.
Okay, I'm just kidding. I love this cutscene so much. It's my
absolutely.
favorite.
It's one of the top cutscenes in Ace Combat, 100%.
But I didn't.
I guess the sun's rays are just gonna barge in and shine on Pixie for a moment.
I
Even the
dragged my
sun knows
wounded
how important
body
this
and
cutscene
reached
is.
ground zero of the nuclear detonations.
How could Pixie drag his wounded body from Avalon, deep in northern Belka, all the way to Valdrike? Not to mention the high levels of radiation in the mountains at the time.
It may be true that the world has no need of borders, but would getting rid of them really change anything?
No.
The world won't change for the better unless we trust people. Trust is vital in a peaceful world. But that will never happen.
Not enough credit is given to some niche games for delivering powerful messages. Ace Combat Zero's portrayal of war, what it does to people, and its ultimate message of trust and peace is so powerful. I'll knock off a sin. This
I'd say
credit
knock
sequence
off a couple
showcasing
sins
Thompson
back.
going through Sudentor, Dinsmark, and Auret
Yeah.
for the interviews is so well crafted. I'll take another sin off, why not?
What V2 is for? Good God.
Column 1, Magnum.
Magnum for pleasure seekers.
Oh my God.
You're out of the danger zone. The round table's nothing special. I'll take care of things. The hell you are? You're not even out of replacement pilot training yet. Woo-ha! Get a good eyeful of this flying. Let it sink in.
You keep flying like that and you'll die real soon.
I mean, it's
Rather than wait for
accurate.
the rescue team, I began to walk toward the nearest base. Of course, it did take me 3 days to get there.
It's an honor to fly.
Wait. Is Hillebrand also the same voice actor for one of your favorite characters in A6? Sergeant McKnight? Because that line right there sounded like McKnight.
Yep, that's him. Kirk
Oh.
Fulton.
Oh, okay.
He also voiced Thunderhead.
He voiced Thunder Blockhead. Did not know that.
Potato.
But no, Hildebrand was my favorite of the enemy ace leaders because he's just so optimistic about everything. And I think he had the best ending of all the enemy ace pilot leaders because he's still flying.
Number 2. And by the way, PJ stands for Patrick James. And I like to play polo. You know, the game with the horses. Maybe we should get going now.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Sector is clear. Not clear, not clear.
Not clear. Oh god.
The round table's nothing special. I'll take care of things. The hell you are! You're not even out of replacement pilot training yet. Especially the fact that that's also like Chopper's yelling at Johnny Young Bosch.
Yep.
That's my favorite of the bloopers that I've done. That's way up there. And Magnum. That's also.
I did not think that's where you were gonna go with Magnum.
It's Magnum ice cream. For pleasure seekers.
Sure. That's totally what you're going for. Well, this was, I think, the shortest of the ones you did so far. But then again, Ace Zero is the shortest game.
Yeah.
But what I really liked about the game, at least, was, I mean, mainly Pixie. Also, I'm surprised you didn't take off a sin for Eagle Eye going, Demon Lord of the Round Table, I pray for your success.
I don't like that line that much.
I love that line because it's the only time somebody directly calls you your Baron or Red Baron title.
That cutscene, it's just so much Eagle Eye, and then he gets like really, it feels patronizing, honestly, especially like in the middle of the mission. It doesn't, it feels weird. It's always felt weird to me.
Fair enough. But let's see here. I think we're halfway through your everything wrong with videos. All we have left is 6, which is the next one we're gonna do. 7, and then Project Wingman. Right?
Is that everything wrong with Ace Combat 4 in the middle there?
What, this? No, that's mine. That's the...
Okay. I got so worried. I'm like, did the thumbnail break?
No, that's mine. It's our reaction to it. For some reason, YouTube has been recommending me my own goddamn videos.
It does that to me too.
I don't know why. But anyway, not sure when we'll do a 6.
Because you're going to want to push it back as far as you can.
No, it's more of late, Mama and Step Papa Raz have been popping by to finish up home improvement stuff, which means I have to stream late.
Yeah, likely excuse.
I mean, do you want to listen to them jackhammering away downstairs and
Not
possibly doxing myself with my real name?
Not the point. You just don't want to watch that. I'm positive of it.
I have said it's both my favorite and least favorite of the Everything Wrong With.
Of course it is.
But no, I'm happy to roast your sins. And I'm subjecting you to Lanner. So
yeah, but it's also subjecting me to my responses to it. So I'm fine with that.
But now, it'll have to be. It probably will be 2 weeks from now on Sunday because my Sunday D&D game is every other week. So that will probably be the next time I know I'm going to be available. But we'll have to line up schedules for that. But hope you guys are looking forward to A6.
I'm always looking forward to A6.
You have the A6 shill and the A6 denier. And then after that will be everything wrong with A7. And then
that
everything.
one I'm really not looking forward to.
Why don't you like that one?
I made too many mistakes in the 7 video. That's the one that I really want to redo more than any of the others.
Well, think of the reaction as a way to help refine it so when you redo it, it'll be better.
I've already done that. I've already reacted to it myself on my own channel.
Well, yeah, but this way you'll have a second pair of eyes.
Yeah, well.
You'll have a proofreader. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you had fun.
Thanks, everyone.
I will hopefully see you tomorrow with Final Fantasy X. And hopefully you'll see Sly next whenever he streams next.
If my computer has been really screwy. I need to figure things out. I'll keep you guys informed, but I want to stream ASAP like I've been wanting to.
Yeah. Any previews of what you might be streaming that you want to show?
I need to finish Final Fantasy 16. I want to stream Sly 1 again because I've got that now on PS5.
Did they fix the timing thing? Because I know one of the parts of it in the PS4 emulation, the rhythm and time was off.
Because the PS4 version is underclocked. So because the PS4 apparently PS2 emulation on the PS4 is actually not that good. Because it's software emulation. So you need, I mean, even now we still need a pretty decent computer to emulate PS2 through PCSX2. So the PS4 is actually not very good for emulating PS2 games. Because it doesn't have a PS2 chip like the early model PS3s did, because that was hardware emulation. This is software. The PS5 is capable of it, but on the PS4 they had to underclock the games, and in the PAL regions they also released them as the 50 hertz versions. So yeah, there's screwy stuff. I haven't been keeping up. I don't know if there have been any patches to the PS4 version. As far as I know, the PS5 version is fine. And that's the one I'll be playing on stream. But yeah, I don't know how. I haven't played it myself, and I will be playing also the PS4 version. I'll be playing both on the but on the PS5. So I don't know if it's going to play them differently. I don't know. I'll find out. But on stream it'll be the PS5 version. Everything will be fine.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else to show, I guess we can wrap things up and say goodbye.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.